All right, for example 3, it's giving you a paragraph proof, and you're going to convert it into a 2-column proof. So it says angle 5 and angle 7 are vertical angles formed by intersecting lines. So we may want to draw a diagram for this as well. So angle 5 and angle 7 are vertical. 5 and 6 are a linear pair. 6 and 7 are a linear pair. So let's just kind of draw a diagram like that. Okay, let's go ahead and set up our 2-column proof. Statements, reasons. Okay, and we're always going to start with what was given. So that will be my first line. Angle 5 and angle 7 are vertical angles. And that is given. All right, so we did that line. Make it red. Okay, next we have 5 and 6 are a linear pair. 6 and 7 are a linear pair. Okay, so let's do that for our next line. So measure of angle 5 and the measure of angle 6 are a linear pair. And angle 6 and angle 7 are also a linear pair. And my reason is going to be that's just the definition of a linear pair. All right. Then by the linear pair postulate, angle 5 and 6 are supplementary, and angles 6 and 7 are supplementary. So 5 and 6 are supplementary. If they're a linear pair, they're supplementary. 6 and 7 are also supplementary. So 5 plus 6, if they're supplementary, they add up to 180. That's how I'm going to write that out. 6 plus 7 are also a linear pair. They're also supplementary. What's my reason? It says right here, linear pair postulate, and that was also in your vocab for today. All right, what's next? So by the congruent supplement theorem, angle 5 is congruent to angle 7. Angle 5 is congruent to angle 7 by the congruent supplement theorem. So pause the video if you need to. We'll keep working on this. All right, angle 4 is kind of a break from all the proofs, and it just kind of lets you come up with the x and the missing angle. So it says find x in all 4 angles. So please make sure you're looking at your diagram. Those 2 angles I circled in purple, are they supplementary, adding up to 180? Are they vertical and congruent? They are vertical and congruent. So you're going to set them equal to each other. 3x plus 1 equals 148. You're going to subtract 1 from each side. You get 147. You're going to divide by 3. And I think you're going to get 29. Let me double check that I divided that in my head correctly. Oops, 49. Yeah, because 12 divided, yes, 49. So x is 49. Okay, then let's check and make sure we have the right x. So let's come up here. 3 times x, 3 times 49 plus 1. Let's see what that equals. So 3 times 49 is 147, plus 1 is 148. Then let's find these red angles. So I'm going to do 180 minus 148, and I get 32. So those two angles are 32. So I have 32 and 32, and we had 148, 148, and x was 49. Okay. All right, last problem. We're going to do a paragraph proof. Given that angle 1, so let's look at our diagram. Angle 1 right here is congruent to angle 4. Prove that 2 is congruent to angle 3. So let's always start with what we know. So angle 1 is congruent to angle 4 as given in the problem. All right, that's what we're starting with. All right, what else do we know? What else do we know? Think about these two angles. What do we know right there? Angle 1 and angle 2 are congruent. How do we know that they are congruent? What kind of angles are they? They're vertical angles. So they're congruent because they are vertical angles. Well, let's come and do the same thing on the other side. So right over here, angles 3 and 4 are also congruent because they are vertical. Because so we know 1 and 4 are congruent. We know 1 and 2. We know 3 and 4. Then we can say, a different color here. We can say that 2 and 4 are congruent using the transitive property. So angle 2 is congruent to angle 4 using the transitive property. And angle 2 is congruent to angle 3, also using the transitive property. Okay, pause the video if you need any more time. All right, for the summary, just briefly, it doesn't need to be a novel. Name and describe the 3 types of proofs. So you've got the 2-column proof. What does that look like? Talk about the table with statements and reasons. You have the flow chart, right, with your circles and arrows. And then you have the paragraph proof, which is just sentences and words. So just briefly describe that in complete sentences. The homework will be on big ideas. Congrats, you've made it through chapter 2, and you've made it through the proofs. If you didn't like this section, it's going to be pretty different when we get to chapter 3. So don't worry too much. If you liked it, I hope you enjoyed it. All right, have a great day.